Hey guys, it's Logan from Koaster Kids, and some of you may know that I started a new project called Koaster Kids Reporters, where we find some kids from different parts of the country and different parts of the world to make videos for Koaster Kids. And the reason I'm doing this is because most YouTubers want all the attention on them, and I'm not really like that. Koaster Kids is not really about just me, it's about us. So it's a good opportunity for you viewers to get several different perspectives about coasters that I may never even get to ride. And hundreds of people have auditioned, and so far we selected 18 different people from all around the US and 6 other countries. And we want you guys to get to know these awesome people. So I sent all the reporters a list of questions, and they recorded their answers and sent them to us. So this is going to be a reporter Q&A. So the first question, how did you become a coaster enthusiast?
I got into roller coasters when I went to this little tiny park called Land of Make Believe. Now, I was around 6 at the time, and I went there with my camp, and I rode this tiny little coaster in this little park called Thriller. And it was a really simple coaster, round and back, kind of stupid, but I loved it. I loved it so much, and I wanted to keep riding it over and over and over.
After I rode the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios Orlando, I started researching and studying them, but then once I rode Mako at Studios Orlando, my fear of any coaster went away.
I would say I became a roller coaster enthusiast because of her. Her chorus class went on a field trip in May of this year, and before she went on the trip, she was watching a ton of Coaster Studios videos and Coaster Kids videos about like compounds, like Coaster Studios Review and all that. And then she sent them to me, and I started watching them, and then we just started going to parks together, and yeah.
I usually went to Six Flags Mexico a lot to go and only watch the rides, but not riding them. So that's pretty weird, I know. And then I started watching your videos, and they inspired me a lot on facing my fears.
There is one particular coaster that made me fall in love, and after riding it, I knew that I was going to dedicate all my life to roller coasters. That coaster is Rock and Roller Coaster at Disneyland Paris, and now it isn't even in my top 25, but at that moment I was blown away. I loved the launch, the music, everything, and that's the reason why today I am such a roller coaster fan.
So I first became a roller coaster enthusiast when I was 2.5 years old. I rode my first roller coaster at Disney, which was Goofy's Barnstormer, and then I went to Hershey Park, and I got to ride the Super Duper Looper when I was 3, and that was my first upside down coaster. And I also joined Ace when I was 3, and that's all I wanted to get for Christmas. And ever since then, I've been a huge coaster enthusiast.
I think I became a roller coaster enthusiast when I was about 3 and I rode my first roller coaster. I was always fascinated by how it worked, and I always wanted to be a little bit taller so I could ride the bigger rides.
So it really just started with us watching a bunch of roller coaster videos on YouTube, because we've always liked theme parks and had an interest. So we would watch videos, and it wasn't until we found Logan's channel we actually started to become enthusiasts.
Yeah, so we were never really into riding coasters until you, Logan, inspired us to, and now it's like our passion, so.
You know, it feels very good to me that a lot of you got into roller coasters from watching my videos. That's awesome. So second question, what was the best experience you had at a theme or amusement park?
Really loved riding coasters with Logan at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and just riding the coasters I love.
When I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain, and I love big scary rides, and they have some of the biggest and scariest rides ever.
The Dorney Park Family of the Day, that experience was pretty awesome. They were so nice to us, and they just made sure we had an awesome day. But I would have to say my favorite park experience was the behind the scenes Busch Gardens Williamsburg tour with Zach, Callie, and Logan. That was just awesome. It was so hands-on. We got free rides. Our tour guide was amazing. He answered all of our questions. I learned so much. It was really long, and it was just overall such a great experience.
Honestly, all the Coaster Kids days, all the people are so nice, like Logan and all the other Coaster Kids. I love the community.
My best experience was the very first time I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain. The park was really empty, and I got to ride 11 different coasters that day, all for the very first time. It was probably one of the best days of my life.
My best experience that I've ever had on a roller coaster was when I rode in the back row of Superman Krypton coaster, which was just amazing.
It was the time when I went to Kings Island last May in 2017, and Logan showed me all around the park and did a great job doing it. I really enjoyed that day.
The best experience I've had at an amusement park was probably when I met up with you guys at Alton Towers. It was amazing seeing you guys in person, as I've been watching your videos for about 2 years now, and it was brilliant showing you around my home park.
Was when me and Logan and some of the other coaster kids were on Griffin and we got stuck and we got evac and free fast passes for some of the rides, and that was so much fun. It was one of the best experiences of my entire life.
Probably is to be Coaster Kids Day at Kings Island this past year is because I was able to meet so many new coaster enthusiasts and get so many new credits on this trip and ride some of my favorite coasters ever. And really, it's just so much fun when you're not just going to a park to get new credits. When you're going with a bunch of kids who know coasters just as much as you, it just makes the experience so much better.
You know, I had a lot of fun hanging out with some of you guys. And for those of you reporters I haven't met yet, I can't wait to meet you in the future. So, third question, why did you want to become a Coaster Kids reporter?
The thing about this question is that at first, I really didn't. When my dad approached me with the idea to be a Coaster Kids reporter, I told him it was crazy. I mean, me being a Coaster Kids reporter, me talking to a camera, me meeting up with everyone and going to parks and, you know, actually being important, that could never happen. But the more I thought about it, and the more my dad tried to convince me, the more I realized it would be a really, really, really great opportunity. So I went to King's Dominion, and I had some fun, and I recorded an audition video. And I mean, I'm here now, aren't I?
When you're reporting, you get to explain the rides and really give like advice of what it's gonna be like, and it's really fun to do that. And also in the process, you get to meet some really cool people and do meetups and make some new friends, and everyone is just so nice, and it's really fun, and it's a really great experience that Logan has given us the opportunity to do this.
Well, I think that as a Coaster Kids reporter, I can help people overcome their fears of different roller coasters.
We wanted to become Coaster Kids reporters because we love Coaster Kids and we love coasters, so it's a perfect match.
Well, here in Mexico, we have very few sources of information and news and special events about theme park related things. So I wanted to be like a Coaster Kids reporter for reporting these theme parks in Mexico, because they are beautiful, they are very unique.
I was seeing all the reporter videos from Coaster Kids, and I said, look, I want to do the same. I want to show the people everything about Spanish coasters like everyone is doing, and it's a great idea to be a Coaster Kids reporter, why not?
Well, I wanted to be a Coaster Kids reporter because I love the message of being brave and riding on. So I just wanted to spread it to the people who don't live in Europe, so yeah.
And I thought it'd be really cool because we can give people a taste of what parks in Europe are like people that can't visit them. So I think it's cool that we're able to, share this experience with everybody.
I've been watching Coaster Kids for a long time now, and I really admire how Logan helps people be brave and try new things, and I wanted to do that too.
I wanted to be a Coaster Kids reporter since I very first discovered your channel, and I really wanted to express my love of theme parks, and then when I saw you were auditioning for Coaster Kids, I was so excited.
Once Logan announced the Coaster Kids reporter this past year, I knew that this was something I had to do. So I sent in my audition clip from SeaWorld Orlando, and I was stunned and amazed that I was actually chosen. So I can't wait to show you guys my knowledge of coasters and for you guys to enjoy my new reports.
Whenever we meet fans at amusement parks, we usually ask them what they like about Coaster Kids. And they usually say the scream scale. So, no saying the scream scale, you guys. But our fourth question is, what do you like best about what we do here at Coaster Kids?
Well, what I like the most is the message you give to the world about facing their fears. It's pretty unique how a kid that age can inspire a lot of people. And I really appreciate that because you did that to me and to the rest of the world. So, that's pretty awesome, Logan.
I like Coaster Kids because of the message it sends. Being brave is such a hard thing to do, and I don't think anyone's really talked about how hard it is. If there's something you don't want to do and something you're scared of, you do not want to do it. And the fact that Coaster Kids is teaching kids how to get over that big hill, that big conflict in their heads, is really important. Because being brave and being courageous is such a big part of growing up. And the earlier we learn to do it, the more successful adults we're going to become. The more we'll be able to stand for ourselves and be able to do things we never thought we'd be able to do. And I mean, Coaster Kids is also just such a positive community. If you're afraid to do something, there are tons of people who have gone through the exact same thing as you have. Scared to ride a drop tower? I bet there's someone in your same group who's done it and who can tell you how it feels after you get off. Again, facing your fears is just such a big part of life. And by creating this great, positive, wonderful community to help kids do it is really, really special.
What I love about Coaster Kids is their message of being brave and riding on. Because there are so many kids who can't ride these coasters, but it's not like they just physically can't. It's because there's a mind block of fear into them. And I feel like with their message of being brave and ride on goes beyond coasters. And it's just an amazing message to give to kids.
So one thing that I like about Coaster Kids is how, like, the Be Brave Challenge, how it's, like, inspired people to face their fears. And, like, look at how many people have conquered their fears because of Logan. Like, that's really cool. And, I mean, the fact that most of them like it just, like, really shows that why are they afraid of it in the first place?
What I really like about Coaster Kids is how he has overcome everything in his life, and he's such a good person. He knows a lot about roller coaster, and he knows a lot about helping people, so I admire him. He's like an idol for me, to be honest.
What I like about Koaster Kids is the message that they give to inspire people to be brave, because they really inspired both of us with that message, and I think it's just great.
I think it's really cool how he can spread such a positive message, but like produce really good content while at it. Cause like I could watch his channel all day. So
I think that Coaster Kids does such a good job, inspiring other kids. They just do such an amazing thing. I love how you guys inspire other people.
Probably my favorite thing about Coaster Kids, like as a whole, just any aspect of Coaster Kids, is the community, just the involvement, how you can go to parks and meet Logan and be in his videos, and that's a huge part of what Coaster Kids is, and the involvement in the community, all the competitions they do, where you can, guess top coasters, and you can win merchandise, and, the comments, the discussions in the comments, and just the whole community of Coaster Kids, because everyone is so involved. And like if you look at like Coaster Kids Day at Kentucky Kingdom, there's so many people there, and you make friends through Coaster Kids all around. The community is so accepting and nice and just fun to be around.
So I like how Logan inspires other people to be brave, and I also like the videos because if you haven't been to the park before, it gives you a good idea of what it would be like.
So what I love so much about Coaster Kids is the way that Logan just inspires kids to face their fears and do what they're afraid of.
What we like about Coaster Kids is how Logan overcame his fear and started using that to help other people overcome their fears. And we also think that the channel is just super fun and entertaining too, so.
A lot of people ask me what I want to be when I grow up, and I have absolutely no idea. So I'll ask you guys, what do you want to be when you grow up?
When I grow up, I want to be a filmmaker.
I think I want to be an architect. Here in Mexico, we have a lot of opportunities on architecture.
So we actually want to both be graphic designers when we grow up, but we still want to be involved in the coaster community, definitely. Coasters forever.
What I want to do when I grow up is work for two major roller coaster companies, RMC or Rocky Mountain Construction, and Bolliger and Mablad or B&M.
I do not know what I want to do when I grow up, but I'm trying to open up different paths. I love writing and music, but I would really also love to do something that has to do with theme parks and roller coasters, perhaps an engineer.
When I grow up, I want to be an engineer. I want to design roller coasters, and it is my dream since a lot of years ago.
I don't know. I'm just going to wait till year 12 and see what I'm good at.
When I grew up, I would definitely love to do something related to coasters, like designing them would be really cool, but I'm just not sure what yet.
Tell us something about yourself that would probably surprise the Coaster Kids community.
So something that might shock you Coaster Kids is that I'm a competitive bowler, actually. Yeah, that might sound like a weird sport to compete in, but yeah, I've competed in nationals multiple times. I'm actually on the high school bowling team this year, and I've made scholarship money from it, actually. So that's pretty cool.
I have a ton of weird hobbies, like trying exotic fruits from around the world, like this one. And I'm also completely self-taught on the ukulele.
I'm from Missouri, but I actually live in Scotland, so that means I can go to lots of the European parks.
I've been to the White House a few times, and I've met 2 presidents, and I'm a year-round swimmer on a swim team, and my best stroke, my favorite stroke, is butterfly.
I made my first on-ride video when I was 8 years old on Abismo with the permission of the park, and it's crazy because most of the people who are 8 years old wouldn't have even ridden Abismo, and I was making POVs, so it's crazy.
I like musical theater a lot. I like going to see shows, and I also like being involved in shows, whether that's performing with them or being in the crew.
I have a lot of weapons. I can explain. So I've been doing karate for 8 years, and over those 8 years, I've really started to get into weapons and weapon forms and sparring with weapons. So over, again, those 8 years, I've started to collect them in a way. At this point in time, I have 10, including 3 tonbo, nunchucks, a bow staff, a jo, which is kind of like a short bow, 2 swords, a bow and arrow, or a long bow, and a lightsaber that I got in Disney. So, don't even think about cutting me in line, Logan. You might not make it on the ride. I'm kidding, I swear.
So when I went to Six Flags Magic Mountain, I went on a ride called Batman the Ride, and I didn't realize how how forceful it was, so I fainted on it.
I play the saxophone.
This one will surprise you guys, but I'm actually homeschooled. How it works is you have tons of homework, but you just do it at home. That's basically what it is. And I love the opportunity because it lets me go to more parks and do more reports for you guys.
Wow, some of that was actually really surprising. So, next question, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not riding coasters?
I like to volunteer. I'm a part of NJHS, so I get at least 6 volunteer hours every month.
My favorite thing to do when I'm not riding a roller coaster is probably going on the trampoline.
My personal favorite thing to do when I'm not riding coasters is figure skate.
And I like playing Planet Coaster.
As well as riding coasters, I also really love gymnastics and trampolining, and I also like to bake.
My favorite things to do when I'm not riding coasters are dance, cheerleading, and listening to music.
My favorite things are gymnastics, dance, and watching Netflix. Can't forget about that.
In my backyard, I have a slack line. If you don't know what that is, it's about a 2-inch wide line that spans about 25 feet. And it's slack, and you have to try to balance on it, and you can do some pretty cool tricks and stuff. So yeah, that can rival Logan's trampoline. It's pretty cool. I also love music. I have an electric bass, cello, guitar, and piano, or keyboard, all in my room. And I love to play all of those.
Singing, I especially love going to a karaoke with my friends.
I love going skiing. We don't really live near places where there's a lot of snow, but every now and then we'll go skiing, and that's one of my favorite things to do.
My favourite thing to do when I'm not riding roller coasters is probably acting.
You guys are blowing me away with your skills and interests. You guys are awesome. So, next question. What's your top 3 favorite roller coasters?
Fury 325, Intimidator 305, and Lightning Rod.
Mumbo Jumbo at Flamingo Land, Stealth at Thorpe Park, and Nemesis at Alton Towers Resort.
I can't decide number 1, so here are my top 3 in no specific order. Fury 325, El Toro, and Wicked Cyclone. They're all 5+ scream rides.
Probably Tatsu, Twisted Colossus, and DC Rivals Hypercoaster.
All the coasters on my top 3 are in Japan. My number 3 is Flying Dinosaur at Universal Studios Japan, which is a V&M flying coaster. And then my number 2 and my number 1 are both in the same park, and they are both S&S roller coasters. My number 2 is Asianaika, a 4G coaster, and my number 1 is Dododonpa, the roller coaster with the fastest acceleration in the world. It goes from 0 to 112 miles an hour in just 1.56 seconds. It's crazy!
My top 3 coasters are number 1 is the RMC Hybrid Iron Rattler, then second comes the B&M Floralisk Superman Krypton coaster, and barely just making the list is the RMC Hybrid New Texas Giant.
American Eagle at Six Flags Great America, Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm, and Tatsu at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Number 3 is Terran at Phantasialand. Number 2 is Shambhala at PortAventura. And number 1 is Maverick at Cedar Point.
Do you guys want to know my top 3 favorite coasters? Stay tuned for my upcoming video, Top 25 Favorite Roller Coasters 2018 edition. So, a lot of you guys go to several theme parks, so what's your favorite?
Knott's Berry Farm.
Six Flags Fiesta Texas.
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
Cedar Point.
Busch Gardens, Williamsburg.
Six Flags Great Adventure. Hershey Park.
Tokyo Disney Sea.
Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Six Flags Magic Mountain.
Dollywood.
Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure.
Canada's Wonderland.
Phantasialand in Germany.
100% Alton Towers.
I've been to a lot of those parks, and they are all awesome. Good choices. So, next question. What is your number 1 bucket list coaster you can't wait to ride someday?
My number 1 coaster on my bucket list is Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point.
Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point.
Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point.
Steel Vengeance!
Steel Vengeance.
Steel Vengeance.
Steel Vengeance.
Steel Vengeance.
Steel Vengeance.
It's Steel Vengeance.
Steel Vengeance.
I'd have to say Terran.
Fury 325 at Carowinds.
Formula Rossa.
DC Rivals.
Intimidator 305.
Twisted Colossus at Six Flags Magic Mountain.
So that's it. Hopefully you found these interesting. I am very fascinated by these reporters. And originally we had like 3 hours of footage from these people, so we had to trim it way down for time. But we might make another Q&A, so if you have any questions for any of the reporters, put them in the comment section below. And I can't wait for 2019. I can't wait for all the content these reporters are going to make. It's going to be awesome. So we'll see you guys later. Have a great day, and be brave, and ride on.
And remember, be brave and ride on.
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 Be brave. And don't cut me in line, Logan. Just kidding, guys. Be brave and ride on. And cut.